So it is currently a little while before sunup and we are getting ready because we have further to go than we had hoped based on our initial plan. But travel along the Condor corridor is not always just walking down trail where we can make decent miles, plus super short days today. So we'll get moving right about first light just as we can pick our way through the bush. And now that Blondie has finally put pants on, we can continue the morning narration. So if you're worried that waking up early like this has resulted in me not getting coffee, never fear. Somebody woke up at 4:30 in the morning so he could get his coffee and do his video edit so we could get moving right as it's getting light.
So early to make you coffee.
For about 20 seconds, and then she was snoring again, and I was up doing all the works and drinking all the coffees, and she was just yum, 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 yum. Just like that. Oh my God, we're getting moving before the sun's hit us. This just seems wrong. I could be drinking 3 more cups of coffee this morning.
Hey, this is normally the time that I'm finishing up yoga.
But that's work. So the reason why we're getting going unpleasantly early is because we didn't make quite as much progress as we were hoping yesterday. It's not that surprising to me considering the shorter days, and I mean, a good day on the Condor Trail was generally 15-ish miles, just because bushwhacking, having to route find stuff like that. And there's been a fair amount of that along the Sisquoc. Taters is claiming once we reach the schoolhouse, the trail from there out is fairly flat and easy to follow, but we shall see. On the plus side, this is the first backpack since the whole COVID thing out in Colorado, and I seem to be managing okay, so positive signs, right? I think I could hear it flowing. It comes and goes out of the sand. I always enjoy hiking at this time of day. I just don't enjoy getting out of the tent and skipping the 3rd cup of coffee that's required to get me out of the tent this time of day. So this lower part of the Sisquoc, as we get closer to the schoolhouse, does have more of these developed camps and old ruins like this. First river crossing of the morning as Jen bravely slogs through the... Oh, wait, there's nothing. So the reason why we're trying to get out at a decent hour is Jen has something called a job in the morning, which requires waking up very, very early. So otherwise it might make sense to sleep at the trailhead, but we are going back to Orange County. We've got a hotel and we have to fight our way back through Thanksgiving traffic to get to Orange County. So we're hoping to get to the trailhead relatively early, do that. And then my fun week begins of dealing with more van issues. Yay! Try not to be too enthusiastic, Jen. And the Sisquoc has suddenly reemerged. And the sun is up. And on a normal day, Blondie would still be snoring away in her sleeping bag. And I would be up, tapping away on video, drinking coffees. So we are having to actually watch ourselves, and we're getting our feet wet off and on here. Sadly, when we filled water, it actually has a horrible stink to it.
Hey, we covered up that stink with that strawberry flavor packet.
Yeah, now instead of a horrible water stink where you're like, ah, you take a sip and you're like, oh God, oh, a strawberry just had its way with me. and you don't, and then you get a little bit of stank.
Hey, it tastes all right.
It's like a daiquiri minus the alcohol with a whole lot more fake strawberry. What?
I've never had a daiquiri. You should make me one of those.
Yes, you have. It was at a snow thing. You just don't remember. This is why I don't do things with you. You don't remember. I think you want to go across on that little thing there, don't you? Or do you see something? So this is a very, very sad place. When Taters came to resupply me and she came up and ended up ditching me and staying far, far away with all the wine and yummy food, this is where she stayed. Aww. I stayed where I was supposed to meet her at Manzana camp. So.
It was the communication was not clear.
Come to me. Bring the wine. Come to me. And here is the Manzana Schoolhouse campsite. So that's the schoolhouse, but Taters is now on a mission to leave, with or without me. Just wants to get out. Demanding nachos, I see what it is. So that's normally kind of a busy campsite. Seems like there's always a bunch of people there. Any of the trip reports I've read when I was there. So it was kind of surprising. Nobody was there when we got there at 11 o'clock on Sunday. We have actually only seen a single person since leaving the trailhead. And that was right when we left Manzana Creek early on. Somebody popped out of the bushes that was day hiking. Other than that, it's just been us. Good talking. Which is just me talking to myself with an occasional giggle track. There's the giggle track. Blondie, this is a shitty road. Really shitty. We finally found Taters some animal friends.
Yay!
Taters made a friend. I think he wants to be petted.
Aww. Oh, so friendly.
Oh, Blondie, you just tapped that. Uh-oh. He's like, you've got two hands. Meanwhile, he's gonna like eat your cell phone.
Oh, uh-oh. Here comes the guard dog.
Time to, so I was out here in a dry time of year, but there was way more water than there is at this time of year. There was no water at Manzana. We're actually past Rattlesnake Preserve, and this is the first water we've come across since leaving the Sisquoc. And the Sisquoc was dry right before Manzana. So maybe there weren't as many people there because they would have all had dry camp. Still enough of a peak bagger. I see stuff like that and really want to go climb. Because that looks like fun rock to climb on.
That's not a peak bagger instinct, Matt. That's a rock climber instinct.
Oh, bullshit. Rock climbers don't go to the top of crap. Because remember, like Black Hills, that is the red line. And most people do Gila. 3:30 and we are almost out. Which is good because that means we will get plenty of time to get down, get food, and enjoy our hotel for tonight. We basically need a hotel so Jen could shower. And me shower, but that's always a concern if she's going to have a late night, early morning and needs to get into class. And then from here, we have about 3 weeks, and then we will be doing the Florida paddle, which will be the next big thing. We will be out down doing the Swanee from Georgia out to the sea, hopefully. And then we have the wilderness class with some other minor adventures like this, maybe. And then finally the AZT starting in March. It was cool at the Condor just how much different terrain you see. You know, you go like beach to mountain to Monterey.
Yeah.
And we lived out plenty early. And now the important part of the trip, the search for Modelo. What?
You didn't say nachos.
Ooh, and nachos. I thought that was strongly implied. I don't even have to state it at this point. But Modelo, maybe I was in a nice tea mood, margarita mood. So what'd you think of the loop?
That was an awesome loop.
No people. We saw one person the entire time. And we heard somebody today at the schoolhouse. But other than that, no ticks, which that's a plus. That we know about. Have you checked your belly button yet? She always gets the ticks, not me, for whatever reason. Water was a little stressful, more stressful than before. We always managed. It was a little bit tasty at times. Trail was okay. We should have woken up earlier the other days. That's what happens when you try and go over a pebble in a Mazda 2. Ants have to duck when she drives over. But anyway, ignoring Blondie's ridiculous conveyances, yeah, really nice camping. The trail was in really good shape. I love the Los Padres Forest Association. Not quite as much as I love the Florida Trail Association, because those people are bonkers trying to defeat Florida, which I'm pretty sure is just like, you know, it's not trail maintenance, it's trail warfare out there. Every time I hear about another hurricane, I'm like, oh God, those people. But these guys work really hard with kind of rough trails too. So it could be a struggle, but it's just a cool area that's underappreciated. Mostly because of the ticks and the bushwhacking. That doesn't suck too much. Only a little. Needs more mud. Okay. And I appear to have broken taters once again.
Summed up your whole 40 years of existence by saying, I like green and being loud.
Not really my teenage years. I wasn't much into loud or green.